Hello, my dear student. What a joy to see you here. Welcome back. Welcome to the sub lesson. We're going to talk about concept of frequency. Now, what is frequency? Now, frequency is the data that you collected, okay, and by counting or by telling. Like, say, for example, the previous sub lesson we talked about collecting data, so number of students that uses the library during the 3 different periods, which was before school, during recess time, and after school. So what do? You stand by the door of the library and then you start counting. Okay, that's one way of doing that. Another way of doing it is by taking a tally. All right, one student, you put a line. Second student, you put another line. Third student, see that? So let's do that. Okay, so let's create like a table. Now it's very important that you gotta have some sort of an organized way of recording the data. Okay, so that's why we're going to create like a table. So in this case, we're going to use period. All right, so we're going to say period because we're going to use 3 different periods. Okay, and we're going to use the column approach. All right, what I mean by column, this is like a column. All right, we're going to create 3 columns. All right, on the first column we're going to put all the periods. On the second column we're going to tally. All right, now once tally, I'll explain to you in a few minutes. Okay, and then we're going to write down the frequency. Okay, so let's write down all this. Now, period. What are the 3 periods we talked about that we want to collect data? Before school. Okay, so let's write down on the period. We're going to put before school. All right, and then which means before this classes starts. All right, and then recess time. Okay, so recess time. Okay, recess time. Okay, and then what? After school. Okay, after school. So we want, these are the 3 times that we want to see the students uses the library. Okay, so now what do? You got this table. Okay, you got it on your hand. Okay, let's say I got a piece of paper, I got the table right here. Then you start telling them. What I mean by telling, okay, let's say before school, 7 a.m. you stand by the door of the library. They just open the library and then you wait. There's one student walk in, and then you put a line. All right, there's another student walks in. All right, you put another line, and another student walks in, and then you put another line. See, the moment you see 4 and then the 5, you put a cross. That makes it 5. All right, and then you start a fresh one. 1 2 3 4 5, and then 1 2 3. See that? So you found before school starts there are 13 students uses the library. Okay, that's the frequency. See that? All right, 13 students. Now then you say, oh, it's time to go to class. Okay, you head back to your classroom. Okay, and then the bell rings for recess time. You go straight to the library. Okay, then stand outside the door. Then you say, 4 students comes together. Okay, then right away you put 1 2 3 4, and then another 7 students walks in. Okay, so you put 1 and then 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. See that? Okay, another 3 students walks in. 1 2, and then 8 students walks in. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. See that? That's how you tally it. Rather than trying to write the number, you put lines like this. So now you know 5, 10, 15, 20, 21. So there are 21 students use the library during the recess time. Okay, then you go, and the recess is over, you go back to your class, and then school's end. And you rush to the library again. This time you stand there and wait. Okay, and see how many. This time you see, wow, there are 14 students walks in. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. That makes it 10. 1 2 3 4 14. And then another 7 students walks in. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. And then another 8 students walks in. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. See that? Pretty easy, isn't it? By putting the line. Now you know what? 10, 20, 25, 29. So 29 students use the library after school. Now these are the datas. Now each of these are called frequency. The frequency for before school, the frequency during the recess time, and the frequency after school. Alright? So as you can see, the data has been collected in a form of columns, like set it up in a column table. All right, now you can also express that or set up the table in a form of rows. Now what I mean by rows, what you do is you put the period on this side, and then you put a straight line, and then next one will be the tally, and then put a line like that, and then you put the frequency, okay? Frequency. Okay, so now, okay, we know what's the period. Our first part will be the before school. So you put down before school right here. And then recess time. And then after school. See that? So that's in a form of rows, okay? So then you start tallying, okay? So we already got the tally, which is 13 for before school. So you just said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That makes it 10, 1, 2, 3. And the frequency would be what? 13, exactly. All right, and then recess time, we already know it's 21. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1. So that makes it 21. See that, the frequency for during recess time, okay? Now during period of after school, we have 29 students, okay? We tallied already. So let's write down as a tally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I see 10, 20, 25, and then 4. See that? That makes it 29. The frequency is 29 right there. Now this is in a form of column and this is in a form of rows. See that? So it's very important, all right? When you're collecting data, you have to have a proper way of recording it. So it's very important that when you're collecting data, you have to have a proper way of recording it, all right? Like in this case, see that we set up in a form of the column or in the form of row. Now remember, when you have something like this, a table set up, you won't make mistake. When you start tallying them and then you create the frequency for the each periods, that way you get the proper, okay, information. Now when Mr. Mac was living in the United States, beside teaching, I also wanted to start a business. I wanted to sell cell phone. So what I did is, before I just blindly and go set up an office or a store, I want to study the market. I want to see, is there a demand for this particular provider? And the company that I started there was called Nextel. I was a dealer for a company called Nextel. So they given me the right to open a store in that particular city, but I need to find out what part of the city I want to open. So I picked up 4 different locations. So and then I create a statistic to see the demand in that 4 different locations. So what I did, I created a table. All right, and then I broke down into several categories by the age, from 10 to 17. I want to see how many of that at that age, from 10 to 17, uses the cell phones, and then from 18 to 25, and then 26 to 35, 36 to 45, and 46 and up. And then once I gather the information, then I can analyze. All right, my dear students, let's do this. Let's do this as a hands-on practice, okay? Mr. Mac's going to hire you as Mr. Mac's business consultant, and you're going to help Mr. Mac in study the market, all right? So we're going to study the usage in this particular town, in this particular area of the town, okay? We want to break down in by ages. So let's say, okay, the age that we're going to break down is from 10 to 17. Okay, and then from 18 to 25, and then 26 to, let's say, 35, and then 36 to 45, and then 46 up. And we want to see how many, but based on this age, we want to see the usage of cell phones in that area. All right, go ahead, pause the video, and Mr. Mac's also going to erase the board and have the table ready. Okay, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Alright, my dear students, how did you do? Alright, let's do it together, okay? Let's create the table. We're going to use the column approach, okay? So you will need a straight edge. Now first we got to put the title, alright? So let's put a line right here. And then what I mean by title, okay, let's say for example in this case, we're going to, the group that we're going to target is the age group, alright? So that's going to be our first part title, age group, okay? So it's going to be age group, and then Okay, let's put another, so since we're using the rows, so we're going to put a line like this, and then of course we're going to put the tally. It's going to be another title for that column, all right? Okay, then we're going to create another line, and then we're going to write the frequency, okay? So for that column, you put frequency. There you go. So these are titles, okay, for the each columns, all right? Okay, so now for the age group, we broke down into how many groups? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups, okay? In each row, we're going to write down the age groups, all right? So let's create rows, okay? So that's going to be first row. Okay, let's put first row, and then second row, and then third row. Okay, third row, and then fourth row. So we got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the 5 category. Okay, 5 groups that we are targeting. So this is our target market. Okay, so the first one is from the age 10 to 17. So we write down 10 to 17, and then the next one will be 18 to 25, and then 26 to 35, and then 36 to 45, and 45 and up. All right. Okay, we can erase these lines, all right? So now, right there, we got the table. So, what do? We take this table, we pick a location, and then we start observing, all right? Or we can talk to them, okay? You can combine the so many ways of gathering the data, all right? So one way is you can just sit in a corner and just watch everybody that's walking by. You can make an estimate, guess, all right, he looks like, between 10 and 17, okay? She looks like 45 and up. See that? So this way you can start telling it, all right, by just looking at it, or you can just go and talk to them. But usually when you talk, so that's why you've got to ask yourself how much time you have. Are you want to talk to every person that you see, or you just going to observe it, or you want to hand out survey, okay, so that they can fill it up and then give it back to you. So there's so many ways of gathering the data. Okay, let's say we're just going to use by observing. We're just going to watch, and then we're going to start telling him. Okay, so then we saw, all right, there are 25. All right, during this one day that we were standing there, we found 25 between the age of 10 and 17 had a cell phones. Okay, so when I say cell phone, it's a mobile phone or hand phone. Okay, so let's say 25. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 25. All right. So we're going to put frequency for that age is 25 in that age group. All right, and then let's say from 18 to 25, there are 40 of them. So let's say we tallied all that, and I'm just going to put 40. Okay, and then between 26 and 35, there are, let's say, 32 of them. Okay, 32. And then between 36 and 45, there are 17 of them. Okay, and then 45 and up, 9. Okay, so see that the tally part. So this is where you count them as you were observing, and then you put the line, all right, like a mark like that, and then you total them up and then write down the frequency. Okay, so once you get all this filled up, now look at these numbers, like the frequency side of it. Okay, that should tell you who's the highest users, am I right, and who's the lowest users. And then you can also, in certain particular age, you know what the frequency would be. Okay, particular groups of age. Let's say, for example, if Mr. Mac asks you who's the lowest user group, okay, that would be the one 45 and up. There's only 9 people we observed that was carrying a cell phone with them. All right, and then who's the highest user, and the frequency is what? The 40, the frequency that has the highest among the categories, which will be the 40, and that the age between 18 and 25. Now if I ask you number of users at the age between 26 and 35, then you look for the frequency is 32. See that? See, once you gather this information, and this is what you call frequency, okay, for the each group. And from this data, you can tell whether which has the highest frequency, which has the lowest frequency, and then you can also pinpoint any particular group. Let's say, for example, if I ask you 36 to 45, what's the frequency? And you should tell me that it's 17. And if I ask you what the highest frequency okay, it's 40. And if I ask you the age group that uses the most phone, then you say 18 to 25. See that? So if I ask you for the highest frequency, you tell me it's 40. If I ask you the age group, the highest will be 18 to 25. All right? Okay, good. Well, let Mr. Mac erase the board, and then let's do some problems, a hands-on practice, okay? Based on the table that I provide you. You should be able to tell me the highest frequency, the lowest frequency, and if I ask you any particular group and what their frequency is, and those kind of things, okay? Give me a few seconds and I'll be back with you. Alright, my dear students, are you ready for some hands-on practice? Alright, let's call Pablo. Pablo, come on over, Pablo, come on over. Bring the worksheet with you. Our dear students are ready for some hands-on practice, and let's have fun. Alright, my dear students, so once Pablo hand over the worksheet, be sure to pause the video and then have fun with it. Once you're done, invite Mr. Mac in so we can work together. Okay, here it is. Have fun. Good. How was it, my dear students? Pretty easy, isn't it? Straightforward. Alright, good. Now let's do it together, okay? Now, good. It looked like Pablo gave you a handful of questions there. Alright. Okay, good. The first one says, the data below shows the ages of handphone users in a school. So here some data has been collected, okay? Now it's very important when you collect the data after you record them, and you have to organize them, arrange them. And that's what the first question says, construct a frequency table. So we want to construct, okay? We want to organize in such a way that we should able to analyze those data that we construct, organized, all right? Okay, good. Here Mr. Mac already written all the data that we collected. Okay, in order to create a table, we'll need a straight edge. So we're going to use the column table, all right? So let's draw a line. Okay, I want you to follow through with Mr. Mac, all right? Okay, so let's draw a line, and then we're going to create 3 columns, and each column we're going to label it. The first column we're going to put it as the age, and then second column for tally, and third column is the frequency. All right, very good. So let's put the first column, all right, and then we're going to put a second column, and then that's the third column right there. Okay, so first column we're going to label as the edge, and then the second column as a tally, and then the third column is going to be the frequency. Okay, all right. Okay, let's start with the edge. Let's find out the edges. Okay, so we have 15, 18, 16, and 17. Is there anything other than that? No. So we're only dealing with 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay, let's write down that. Okay, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay, so we got 15, 16, 17, and 18. All right, under the column where edge is. Okay, now let's do the tally. So let's start with the 15. Let's find out how many 15. Okay, the handphone users. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See that? So there are 7. All right, then let's go to 16. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So look like again another 7. All right, let's look 17. Let's see, 17, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there are 5. And then how about 18? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Let's see, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so the 9 for the edge of 18, the handphone users. All right, so there it is, right there. We constructed a frequency table right there. Okay, let's go to the second question. The second question says, how many students uses handphone in this school? So that means what they're asking for. They're asking the total number of students. All right, so pretty much this is right there. We're going to add this. We're going to add. So for this is A, and that's a question 1, A. All right, so B. So what we're going to do, we're going to add it. All right, 7 plus 7 plus 5 plus 9. And that should be the total. All right, so that means we're going to pair them. We're going to use a pairing method. 7 plus 7 is 14, 5 plus 9 is 14, and then 14 plus 14 is 28. Okay, or you can line it up and then you add them. Okay, 4 plus 4 is 8, 1 plus 1 is 2, so 28 total. All right, so that how many students uses handphone in this school? 28 students. All right, so 28 students. Okay, B. That's B, all right? Okay, 28 students. Okay, now let's do C. Okay, C says, which age group has the lowest frequency? So that means we're going to look at the frequency side of the column and look for the lowest. Which one is the lowest? 7, 7, 5, and 9. 5 is the lowest. That means the age group 17. Okay, so that says which age group? So it'll be the 17. All right, okay, so D. Now D says, state the frequency of handphone users for the age of 15. For the age of 15. What is the frequency for the age of 15? 7. See that? So they're asking for the frequency. All right, this is what frequency for the age of 15 is 7. There you go, 7. All right, and then E. What is the frequency of the highest handphone users? The highest. Which one uses the highest? Which age? 7, 7, 5, 9. 9. Okay, that's the highest frequency. And they're asking, what is the frequency of the highest handphone users? So the age is 18, but the highest frequency is 9. They're asking for the frequency, not the age. See that? So you want to put 9. So be careful, all right? Okay, now let's do problem number F. Now problem F says, what is the difference between the highest frequency and the lowest frequency? So what's the highest frequency? The highest frequency is 9. Okay, we're looking at the difference, and the lowest frequency is 5. See that? So 9 minus 5 is 4. Right there. That's the difference. All right? Okay, and then F. Now let's do G. G, how many handphone users are for ages 16 and up? 16 and up. So that means 16 and up. So it'll be 16, 17, and 18. So that means we're going to add 7, 5, and 9. Okay, for G, we're going to add 7, 5, and 9. And that should be the total number for the 16 and up. Okay, so 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 plus 9 is 21. So there are 21 users for the age 16 and up. So from problem G, so we totaled it 7, 5, and 9. We got 21. Now look at the question again. How many handphone users are for ages 16 and up? Now what about if I reword the question this way? How many handphones users are for 16 above? 16 above. See that? That doesn't include the 16. Only above 17 and 18. That means it's going to be 5 plus 9. But in this case I said for ages 16 and up. See that? 16 and up. Right? So that means 16 including, and then 17 and 18. If I ask you above 16, that means 16 is not included. I'm looking for 17 and 18. Alright? Okay, good. Okay, now let's do question H. Now question H says, what is the common frequency for handphone users? Common frequency. What does that mean? Common frequency means the frequency that repeats common. So in this case is 7. See that? 7 repeats for the age of 15 and also for age of 16. Okay, so H, so it's going to be 7. See that? That's so it's very important when you have the table constructed. Okay, so once you got this data collected and recorded, see that once you construct, organize it and arrange it in the form of a table, you should be able to answer the question very effectively. Alright, my dear students, that tells you should be ready for your quiz. Okay, have fun, and I will see you in the next sub lesson. Bye bye.